Marie, Holopirek. My mom and dad were getting up in age, and Dad had farmland, and we knew eventually it could be going to the nursing home. And we had some people refer us. I had a friend whose parents were in the same situation, and they referred us. So we came and met with Randy and just went from there. Oh my gosh, a lot. I mean, it started out, they done the different land deeds, got that stuff all straightened out. But as I was telling Cindy back there, the one thing that impressed me was I'd get correspondence from different agencies, because we use the Veterans Association also, the VA, because my dad was a World War II veteran, and they helped us get that all set up. And if there was any questions and I'd start filling out paperwork, I'd call up here and talk to JJ, I think it was. And she would be like, Marie, that's what we do. That's our job. Just get that to us. And it was like, okay, that's perfect. So they took a lot off of our plate in getting everything set up. And now he's still in the nursing home, and they're still right there for us when we need them. Grateful from the fact, even going to the caregiver, the gal that would come out to the house and just check on Dad, check on his meds, make sure that we had everything we needed. And a while back, she came to the nursing home to check on him and noticed the call lights. And she's like, he struggles because he had a stroke to use that button. And she's like, no, there's other methods. I bet the next day we had these little squeeze ball things, and they're like in 3 or 4 places in his room where, we wouldn't have had a clue with that. And it even goes back to us with my husband's mom. We used Clinkscales, and she was in the nursing home, and they came out and reviewed all of her meds and found that she had been put on some medicine that she had started falling. Well, it was contributed to that medicine that she was put on that we would have never known. So yeah, we're very thankful for them. And we even got to form a personal relationship with those caregivers that came out. There was the one that we just, oh my gosh, we just loved her. They're all good. We've had 2, and they're all good, but yeah, we had a longer relationship with the first one. So, oh gosh, I have recommended them to quite a few people. Just that they do what they say they're going to do. If they say they're going to get these deeds changed over, if they say they're going to get the VA in line, if they do what they say they're going to do. Yeah.
Well, we got a brochure in the mail, and my husband and I talked about it, so we went to one of their seminars in Dodge City, and everything was uphill from there. They have done everything for me. In 2015 we started. My husband went into the nursing home, and Joy, I don't know if I can mention names or not, but Joy was a big help in me getting all of the forms and documents in place, done correctly. It took a little bit of time, but she done a great job, and I appreciate it. They were very, very helpful. Paid a lot of money. Yeah, but it cost me a lot, and probably lost a lot of funds and everything. They were very good. Oh, most definitely. From Jenny to Joy. Dave had a Claudia who was here previously that came in and checked on him. He made sure she got good physical care and just visited with him heart to heart, confidential conversations. He could tell her anything, and he was just loved it. Made his stay in the nursing home much, much better, and was smooth, pretty good. Well, I already recommended him to my sister. She came and she was very, very pleased. I told them all the information that they needed to start, and everybody that I have recommended here has really been happy. They do great work, yes. From life insurance to all your financial information, bank accounts, a lot of information gathering that without them, I don't know how I could have got it done. That you don't know what the future holds, that you got to be prepared in all ways, and it's the best thing is go to Clinkscale Law, and they'll help you all the way from step 1 all the way through. You need to get your stuff in an order before it's too late.
Well, my wife had early stages of Alzheimer's, and we looked at what we should probably do, and I'd heard some good stories about Clinkscales, how they would take me from the beginning and all walk me through everything. So my two sons and I had a meeting with Randy, and he gave me all the different things I could look at, and we had a meeting after that as a family, and we decided, let's do this. And obviously, I wanted to have good care for my wife, and they were responsible for saying that she had the good care all the time in the home. And then the money situation, it was very, very nice to know that I'd be able to keep some money for myself and not have all of it go where it would go. And that was what really made me decide to stay with Randy and to go with him. And ever since then, my wife was in the home for 5 years, passed away 9 years ago, but I've still in contact with Randy and Jill, and every once in a while Jill will call and say, hey, I'm going to be in town, can I talk to you? And we meet for lunch and talk, and once in a while how I'm doing. I'll be somewhere on the road going somewhere, and here's a phone call from Jill, say, hey, how you doing? I said, fine, I'm in Texas now. So it works out real well. They keep really close touch with me, and it's important. Well, since I don't have my wife anymore, it's me, but it's nice to know, besides my family, that someone out there in Hays, Kansas cares about my life in Phillipsburg, Kansas. And they've always keep it, like I say, in good contact. Well, because they do a good job. I have recommended many of my friends to Clinkscales, and they have come down and met with them. They come home and say, oh, that was great. And the way they do it, it's kind of a introductory. You don't have to make a decision then, but you can go back home and again share with your family about, let's do this. And we did. Well, they would come to Phillipsburg, visit the home, and one thing that really helped, if I had an issue with the home, I did not go to the home. I told Clinkscales will handle it, so if they got mad at Randy, they didn't get mad at me, and it made it easier for me to spend time out there. Oh, I hate to even think about it, because it's just, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been in limbo, because with government rules and regulations, who keeps track of that? And if you're just an outsider, I would not know what to have done. It would not have ended up the way it did. Yes, to them, to Clinkscales, keep up the good work. I know they've moved several times, and beautiful offices here now, and I visited them in all their different offices. I think 4 different offices here in Hays, and I visited them in every one. And of course, they would visit with me. They would come up and say, we're going to be in town, let's talk. And if I was ever in Phillipsburg or in Hays, I could say, I'm in town, can I stop by? Come in, and they were always available to see me. I've never had to wait. They would just come in, have a seat, and we'll go with it.
Sure. Linda, Linda, Schwindt, Schwindt. I felt rescued, I think, is the biggest thing, because I had no idea what to do about anything. And somebody from the area that we lived in, that worked in healthcare, hospital setting, gave me the name. And it was really, wow, so helpful. I had no place to go. Help me get legal documents in place. I probably would have lost everything, financially and physically, had I not come across them. I think they were able to coordinate everything for me, and I felt like a safe place to go for questions. Oh yes, because even though my daughter had some knowledge, not enough to know how to navigate the legal and the medical side of everything. Yes, and I have. a multitude of times, and it's just really better to do it before something happens than wait until you're under the gun, so to speak, like I was. Oh my goodness, yes. I had no idea, and I spent so much time and I'm pretty good at organizing all of our documents. I had worked in business banking, the legal field some. I still had no idea, and I can't imagine people that don't have any of that experience what they're going to encounter.